Hello and welcome to even more Cliff Richard singles, courtesy of a fella I found on Discogs. No, that sounds a little bit Tinder-ish, doesn't it? But no, he was selling Cliff Richard singles, obviously, and I thought, well, I'll get some, and here they are. They're from Spain, so they're in Spanish. But anyway, the first one is this one, and it reads like a sentence, doesn't it? This hammer constantly, true, true love and theme for young lovers. But the other side of this, I go on about ringwear, but the other side of this is probably some of the worst ringwear I've ever seen. There you go. How do you? I don't think I could do anything about that. No amount of enhancement would do anything about that. Oh, unless I did this. There we go. That's pretty good, isn't it? But I don't understand. I think the L and the AR things must have been written by the owner. I can't really tell. It looks like I never know with these things. Looks like it was written by the owner. But the other thing too is that I noticed is if I can get this thing open, I'll just do it this way. The way they've done it is you've got Cliff Richard on one side and some AAA shadows on the other side. So there you go. Cliff is just plain, but the shadows are AAA. There we are. Maybe it's to do with how well each side plays, perhaps. I wonder what the theme for young lovers would be. I suppose if nothing else, you've got unlimited places to play it. But anyway, speaking of themes for young lovers, we've got, I suppose, a slight link here with All My Love. Yes, All My Love. Thank you for watching, All My Love. No, it's not the end yet. There's still 500,000 to go. But the B-side here, Concrete and Clay, was originally done by a mob called Unit 4+2. I think I've got that mathematically correct. But it was covered by an Australian artist in about 1987. It was a bit of a one-hit wonder for him. Sort of, if you want to have a look at Martin Plaza, go for it with that very 80s clip with terrible animation. And next up is another EP where we've got Cliff Richard in the Shadows. Yes, another Cliff Richard in the Shadows EP where you're having fun when evening comes with your friends when I can easily fall in love with you. There we go, there's another sentence, isn't it? I like how they kind of separate them this time. You've got Cliff Richard and the Shadows. But in this case, it's all Cliff on both sides. There we go. Cliff on this side and Cliff on this side. And a big hole. But on the other side, you've got Cliff Richard conning the shadows. Well, that's the Spanish for you, sort of like. But Cliff Richard cons shadows. Don't know how I'd feel about that. Oh well, they kept reforming, so. Next up is Goodbye Sam, hello Samantha, goodbye Lou, hello Louise from today, something like that. Yeah, was his 50th single, but gosh, he looks so serious there in his pointed shoes, and maybe that's why. Maybe those shoes hurt, and that's why he's... But that seat looks like it's going to... not very comfortable either. It looks like it was put together very IKEA-ish. Maybe that's the other thing. He's sort of worried that if he sits in any other direction, it'll just all fall apart. So between those shoes and that very wonky looking chair, yeah, I suppose I'd look like that too. But you never can tell, can you? And I thought I would leave this to lucky last, because we've got Good Times, Better Times, because we're doing all of... Oh, very... yes. With him on a... Lord knows where those stairs are, but he obviously had some privacy. But I'm not sure there if he's giving us the good times or the better times there. Maybe it's a flip of the coin. Heads for good times, tails for better times. But I suppose if nothing else, it's very like, I'm going to get you. But on the other side, you've got some of the albums that were being promoted over in Spain, you've got the Beatles and the Move and Joe Cocker and John Rolls. Okay. And a couple of ones that naturally you're never going to have heard of because of the fact that they would have been local acts. And I say that and I'm proved very wrong. Alright, that's it for some more Cliff. I like... Yeah. And hopefully you enjoyed this, and if I... And as always, if I find another clutch of Cliff, I'll bore you rigid with those as well. So nothing worse than being bored rigid. Anyway, if you got to this, thank you very much for watching. Please do all the likes and subscribes and the bells and the whistles and all of that sort of stuff, and keep up with those good times, and constantly keep up with those good times, or are they better times? I suppose it depends on the day of the week and the time, doesn't it? Alright, thank you very much for watching. Please take care of yourself, and hopefully I shall see you in the next one. Ciao!